Okay, so I speak to founders, CROs, CEOs, whoever that decision maker is, who is either still running founder-led sales or is running the sales team, and they're trying to do outbound, but it's underwhelming, and therefore they think that that is the case across all outbound campaigns. Now, in email alone, it changes on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. You need to have your finger on the pulse, which as someone in your position, you probably just don't have the time to do, which is why a lot of companies in your position outsource things. And that's why we take this under our wing, because we are the experts in this area. Now, maybe your messaging isn't resonating. Maybe you're targeting the wrong people. Maybe the follow-up just isn't there, but we can fix that for you. You may not have enough data to actually understand why you're currently failing. If you're sending 1,000 to 2,000 emails a month, that's not enough. I'm going to send that every single day just to give you context. And maybe you're only using email. Maybe you're only using one channel, and that's one of your other problems. So let me just dive into this and give you some more context. I'm just going to move myself out of the way. But why your current outbound efforts are underwhelming. So most companies fall short with internal efforts, and that's, you're getting some meetings, but it's not enough. Your pipeline's inconsistent month to month, and your close rate is lower than it should be. You think that you can't close cold traffic. It doesn't work. Outbound is the problem. But you're only reaching a fraction of your total addressable market, probably the fraction that everyone else is reaching, just because of the easy to kind of get data sources, which therefore means their fatigue's higher, therefore they're less interested. And you're spending way too much time on outbound instead of closing deals. So you're qualifying leads, reaching out to leads, maybe even making some cold calls. You should be focusing on strategic work or closing those deals once they're booked on the calendar. Now, why isn't it working is the question that you ask yourself. So reason one, you're only using one channel. If you're only using email, you're only going to reach 60% coverage of your TAM in the first place. That's if you're saying it volume, which you may or may not be doing. You may or may not have tried this before, but just to give you context, even if you've worked with someone else in the past, max, you're getting 70% coverage. And that's the primary channel for a lot of people because it's so easy to send at scale, but it's also the most used for that reason. So within that bucket, there's also 30 to 40% of decision makers that don't have a valid email, and therefore they're unreachable with that channel. They still exist. They're still willing to buy. You might meet some of them at an event, but how do you reach them consistently quarter over quarter? See the problem? Your competitors are using multi-channel and will reach them first, and you're capping your pipeline artificially. So just to see this little point here, email plus cold calling plus LinkedIn is 100% TAM coverage, and that's exactly what we do. So number two, your list quality is poor. Bad data equals wasted outreach. So invalid emails, wrong titles, outdated information probably being the biggest one. You send it to people who don't exist, which in that case increases your bounce rate, kills the infrastructure, means you're going to land in the spam. I spoke to multiple people recently when we've been closing a deal, and they've emailed me outside of the chain that I started, and it's landed in my spam, and for a couple of days there's been no back and forth because of that reason. This is one of the many reasons you can't do that. No one's going to see an email if it's in your spam. So that just impacts your response rates overall, never mind positive response rates. If you can, and with what we do, we validate, we clean, and we segment the lists with proper data enrichment using Clay, a go-to-market tool that allows us to score leads, allows us to do AI enrichment, and allows us to dig into those people to make sure they are an ICP fit and that their data quality is most up to date. Your messaging is too generic. So template emails don't convert. And especially today, what's today? 25th of November, 2025. We change campaigns once every day or maybe every 2 days, because if not, they get fingerprinted, which means they just land in spam and you get less response rates. And you're probably not doing that. You're probably using the same template you have done for months. Currently, that's just not working in our campaigns. We have a couple of templates that work well. It depends on results, but prospects delete generic outreach. They get dozens of these emails every day. I'm sure your inbox is filled with people like me trying to sell you outbound, but we're different. We do a full-time approach, multi-channel. Give us some time. And if you've already booked a call, or if you haven't, down below. So template emails don't convert. There's no personalization. You get a low response rate, no research into their pain points, and prospects delete generic outreach. Pro tip, you have ChatGPT at your fingers that can do deep research. Do that on every single persona that you have. Find lookalikes, the people you're already working with, if you don't even want to work for this and you just want to kind of increase your current results. And then personalized messaging based on real research is the solution. So reason four, you're not qualifying responses or even people beforehand. So every response you get a meeting request, you don't filter, you just book them. Result, your calendar's full, but your close rate's 5%. So you're wasting your time, and you're speaking to influencers or gatekeepers or someone who has to go away and then speak to someone else who is the decision maker and pass that message on, which, as you know, as someone who runs sales, that never works. You need to book a call with that decision maker after the call. So every response gets a meeting request, wrong people on your calendar, low close rate because you're talking to the wrong people, and wasted time on unqualified conversations. Now, the solution is human qualification on every response, which you may already be doing, but you can't be taking meetings with everyone. That's why you qualify these people before you even reach out to them. It comes back to list quality. So your execution is inconsistent. So feast or famine. Month one, you get great results, lots of meetings. You're excited about about outbound while this is working. Month 2 results drop off. Infrastructure starts getting burnt. Your campaigns slow down because templates are being fingerprinted. You're not adjusting based on what's winning. You're not A/B testing different angles. Month 3, you stop doing outbound. Your pipeline dries up and you're back to square one. And then you say outbound doesn't work. See, outbound requires discipline and consistency, and it's a lot for a lot of companies to maintain unless you've got a whole team of SDRs who are doing this and have experience in these 3 different channels doing it at scale. So the solution is dedicated execution. So a dedicated team, weekly execution, weekly optimization, and weekly reporting. We provide you with all of those, and then a systematic approach. So multi-channel execution, validated cleaned lists, personalized messaging, human qualification, and consistent execution. Now that's A/B testing different angles, making sure that you're changing the templates every day if that's what needs to happen. Spin text, if you know what that is, and it's like slightly different words, no longer works in a lot of cases. It can help, but it's not effective. Change the templates every day. Pro tip. Result, predictable pipeline, higher close rate, full TAM coverage, and that's how you fix your outbound. So stop guessing, start systemizing. If you've already booked a call, I'll speak to you in a couple of days. If not, you can book one down below and we can map out what this would look like for your business.